So the first step of photosynthesis is the light-dependent reaction. So what happens here is water, and this is inside the stroma of the chloroplast and the thylakoids. And there's water near photosystem 2, and what happens is it's photolysed. So then we have our oxygen with the hydrogen. The hydrogens are dropped off near photosystem 2, and then the electrons are dropped off in the reaction center. And what happens here is light shines down on the photosystem 2 and the chlorophyll. The protons from the light bounce through the chlorophyll and then go down to the reaction center where the electrons are, so then they get energized and excited, and then they start bouncing across the proteins. And as this happens, the protein doorways open up, so then the hydrogen ions are able to come in. So then we have a concentration gradient here, and then these hydrogen ions are coming in through active transport because they're going against the concentration gradient. So we have a higher concentration in here, and what happens is these hydrogen ions go to ATP synthase, and they diffuse, or they go down ATP synthase down the concentration gradient, and at the bottom is waiting ADP and a free phosphate. And what happens is energy from the hydrogen ions are transferred over to the ADP and the phosphate, so they combine to form ATP. So then that's produced, and then next the hydrogen ions are still bouncing, and it's important to know that photosystem 1 and 2 are happening at the same time. So as the hydrogen ions are still bouncing, they eventually need to be re-energized. So photosystem 1 does this, and what happens again is light shines down, the protons of light bounce across the chlorophyll, they go to the reaction center where the electrons are waiting, they get energized, they keep bouncing, so next they go to NADP reductase, and here is where we make NADPH. So what happens is the NADP is waiting, the energy from the electrons is transferred over to NADP in order to attach the hydrogen onto it to make NADPH.